Hi, I am Seth Halstead, and this is Real Estate Ops. Thanks for joining me today. Go ahead and push that like and subscribe button. Hopefully, you like the content that I offer. Today, I'm going to talk about why it's a good idea to use a realtor. So, most people, especially first-time homebuyers, they want to buy a house, and that's great, but they have no idea of how to start the process and all that. So, it's a good idea to reach out to a lender, or I'm sorry, to reach out to a realtor that can help point you in the right directions and walk you through the process. It'll just make your transaction so much smoother, and that way you won't spend any time wasting time. Because most realtors, if they've been doing it any length of time, they're pretty efficient with what they're doing, and like I said, they can guide you through step by step. Okay, so first time home buyers, you decide that you want to buy a house. Most people do not realize that the buyer does not pay the realtor. This is very important. And so most buyers are like, well, how does a realtor make money? Well, the realtor makes his money or her money whenever um, the person buys a home because the seller pays the commission on the realtor. It's the same thing with new construction. So you won't pay a realtor if you go buy a new construction home. Um, you'll be buying that house, and then the builder is the one that pays the realtor. The other thing is too, most people, whenever they're going to buy a house, they don't even know where to start at, and it is cumbersome. It is tedious. But your first stop would be to talk to a lender, talk to a trusted lender. And usually your realtor can point you in the right direction of quite a few of them because they've worked with them several times. So you get in there and you write an offer on a house. The offer gets accepted. So then the next step would be to line up inspectors to do inspections on your new home. Now, this is very important to choose the right inspector because let's face it, this is probably one of the biggest transactions that you'll ever do in your life. Real estate, I mean, you're spending a lot of money because you want the thing to last and you want to call this place home for a long, long time. And you just don't want to, you know, go in there with a bunch of stuff that's broken, especially if you can hire this inspector and he can catch a lot of that stuff. Now, I'll tell you right now, he is not going to catch everything, but most inspectors that I know that I recommend, they're going to catch 95 to, 95% of the stuff that's wrong with the house. And then this helps you. So you get that contract accepted, you get the inspection done, you get the inspection report back, and then that's going to help you negotiate the price. So you're going to go and you're going to negotiate the price. Okay, this, and this is wrong. You guys can either fix them and show us receipts where you fixed them, or we can take prices off the house. And you just have to be careful. I mean, if there's something major structurally wrong with the house, then the realtor is just going to tell you to walk away because that's the best advice because you don't know how much it's going to cost. And let's face it, nobody wants to buy a lemon. Nobody wants to buy a lemon car. Nobody wants to buy a lemon house. So the next step is you get all that resolved. You agree upon a price. So once you agree upon the price, then you're going to send that to the lender that you've already chosen that's pre-approved you. Now, pre-approval and is very important too because then you know what price range you can look for in the house. So let's say you're pre-approved for 500,000. I would not go buy a house for 500,000 just because you can. You don't want to be house poor either, and and trust me, I don't want you to be house poor either because I don't want you to hate me because you bought a house that's where all your money goes and now you can't do anything. You can't even go out to eat. So you get the loan, you get the contract over to the lender. The lender does his magic. So he gets you approved for this loan. It's going to go to the title company. The title company is going to run the title search on it. You're going to get title insurance. That's a little extra on top of everything. But it's worth it if something else shows up on the title. And what I mean by that is if there's a lien or something on the property that doesn't get caught, then it's going to show up. The title company is going to catch it, and if they don't, then they're an insurance company. That's all a title company is an insurance company, and they're going to insure the deed and the title to make sure that everything was good with the house whenever you bought it. So after that, after all the title, it'll go to underwriting for the lender and all that. And then after that, then you'll go to what's called closing. So that's typically 30 to 45 days after you start the whole process, after the contract's accepted. So you find the house, write the contract, get the lender to approve it. Survey, it may have a survey already, it may not. So that may be another cost. Inspectors, $500. Um, I would definitely get that done. There is no way I would let any of my clients buy a house without getting an inspection, or at least me telling them to get an inspection, because it's just way too big of a gamble to go in it alone without an inspection. So you get the inspection, you agree upon the price, everybody's signed. Um, you go to closing. And what you do at closing is the buyer will go in to the title company, or the title company may come to you, depending on how it all works out. They do mobile notaries sometimes. You'll go there, and you'll sign all these papers from the lender. You'll sign all these papers from the title company, and then the seller does the same thing. He's going to have his own little group of papers that he's got to sign. Then everything gets processed. The loan gets what's called funded. And then once